Well, you may not think of Thanksgiving as a dangerous holiday, but there are some risks that folks encounter this time of year. And here with some advice so you can avoid spending your holiday in the emergency room, we welcome UK Emergency Department physician Dr. Ryan Stanton. Thanks for being with us.
The key is avoid, because
avoid. He's a really nice guy, but you don't want to spend your Thanksgiving day with him.
No, and I want to be incredibly bored that day. I'd like to sit around and hunt up TVs to find parades and football games.
Well, besides the usual overeating, indigestion, all those kind of things that we tend to expect with this holiday, what are some of the other things that send folks to the emergency department?
Okay, every holiday we have is associated with certain types of injuries and accidents that we see in the emergency department. And probably, I guess, the most dramatic, for which I could find the most exciting photograph online, is, of course, the cooking the turkey. And now, it's not just enough to put it in the oven or buy one over the counter. Somehow around here we've decided that we want to fry it.
Yes.
And so frying the turkey has led to a whole bunch of house fires, burns, and injuries. And so you want to make sure that if you're going to fry your turkey that it does not end up like this. Though I have to give them credit, they did it outside away from the house, though everybody still had to run for safety.
Yeah, I like the evacuation scene in the background.
That's probably a well-planned evacuation route right there, I can imagine. But make sure that if you're going to fry the turkey that you do it well away from the house, not on any wood structures like decks or porches, definitely not inside the house. Don't dip a frozen turkey. That's where a lot of this happens with the temperatures where they get together. And make sure that you do it appropriately. And make sure, just like this picture, or unlike this picture, that the kids are well away from any explosions. Also, you want to make sure that that the food, that we see a lot of food poisoning this time of year. Make sure that the foods are kept refrigerated, are cooked to full temperature, and they're not left out. We see a lot of allergic reactions, families getting together, foods that people can't tolerate are there. So make sure that if you have an allergy, especially if you've had a significant reaction, that you check before you're eating things, because we don't want you coming into the ER all swollen up with your allergic reaction. And really, finally, make sure that a lot of traveling. I've got family traveling over the next few days. That you be careful. Drive the speed limits. Make sure it's safe, and no drinking and driving. Around 40% of the accidents this time of year, deaths associated with car accidents, will be alcohol related. And we really do want to limit that, because that is a way to destroy a holiday and really tear families apart. So if you're going to be out traveling, make sure you do so safely. I
heard a surprising statistic that there are actually more drunk driving incidents this weekend, or the week of Thanksgiving, than there is even on New Year's Eve. And
there is. The average is about, throughout the year, is about 25-30% of accidents will be alcohol related. This weekend, and actually getting into the Christmas holiday, the number goes up to 35-40%. So a good portion of deaths related to accidents are alcohol related.
And that's one thing we know we can prevent by playing it safe, having a designated driver, or just not getting in a car if you have been drinking.
Well, the cabs don't take vacation, so they'll be available. You can give them a call.
I think they like that holiday business.
They sure do.
Well, thanks for being with us, and we'll check back in with some Black Friday safety tips a little bit later in the week with Dr. Stanton. So stay tuned for that later this week. We'll be right back with more news and weather after this.